One season ago, Alex Abbetti righted the sinking ship that was his luck in NASA with a victory at this very circuit. This evening, he hopes for a repeat after his last place finish in Atlanta, while his title rival Francois Martel romped to a fourth win out of 5 races contested in this season. Time is running out for the tie driver. 17 points is the deficit, and if Martel's form is anything to go by, Alex has to win the remaining races in order to turn the tables. Evan McFarlane has looked quick as well. The young American from California is seeking his first win. What will happen tonight? We'll find out over the next hour as the World Center of Racing is the stage for the evening. The Daytona Grand Prix is next. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Opened in 1959, North American Simulated Auto Racing started visiting this circuit in 2018C, and this is the 13th visit to the World Center of Racing. Running a total of 0.86 miles in length with 9 corners in total, 6 to the right and 3 to the left, the lap begins with a right, left, left-right dirt chicane with the tabletop jump in the middle. Be wary of the sausage curves at all points, and this entire sector is dirt. Exiting turn 5 with a quick blast out to the famous oval and another quick dirt section onto the beginning of the road course down to the Joker decision. It's a slightly shorter lap, but be wary of the commitment lines on entry and exit. Spot your braking point for the International Horseshoe, passing the start-finish line to complete a lap here in Daytona. Our format for this evening is as follows. 23 cars will be split into 4 heat races, 6 laps apiece, Joker lap once, and you have to take the Joker lap once, I should say. Top 2 will transfer through to the feature. Winner gets 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our competitors will be funneled into the semifinals, 5 lap races, Joker lap once. Those winners will receive 1 bonus point. This sets the grid for the 12-car, 10-lap feature race where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out. Unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature. The 28th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge continues tonight, live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, Cody Erdmann alongside me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to the Daytona Grand Prix. Our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support. Our coverage all season on ASN also brought to you by NordVPN, your gateway to online freedom and security. Protect your digital privacy with military-grade encryption, browse the web anonymously, and access your favorite content from anywhere in the world. Receive 63% off a 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Our cameras for the entire season provided by TrackCams22.com. And finally, our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abbetti. I had a question for Phil. We are missing Philip Kraus this evening. So, Cody, I'll ask you. Francois won in Atlanta, his 4th out of 5 races, and championship rival Alex missed the feature. How are you, and what are your thoughts as we cross the halfway mark?
I'm doing great as we're here in beautiful Daytona. And it's the top 2 are neck and neck, obviously, with Abbetti not making the feature last week. That gap opened up to a lot more than we've seen the first handful of races. So now Abetti's gonna have to do everything in its power to try to stop Martel. He's been pretty much unstoppable besides the one mishap he had in round 2. Other than that, he's been perfect essentially. So he's gonna have to be one of the ones to beat him, or could be someone else, depending on what happens here tonight in Daytona.
As in my little intro bit, I have another question for you. I'll hold off there in a minute. What's interesting is Subaru has only won once overall and in Sportsman. It's been the Blue Oval Fords that have won 8 out of the 10 races ran, if you count the Sportsman as their own race. Because I want to ask you, Sportsman is getting spicy, but no Benjamin Gay this evening. He is he's out at a concert. Hopefully his concert's great. So what's the process if you're Matt Grove? He came off his 2nd win last week. No championship rival. You still going to push? You're going to relax? What are you thinking?
If anything, if we take Benjamin Gay out of the picture, currently he's sitting 33 points in front of Matt Morris. So if I was in Grove's position, I would just try to make sure you make it into the feature. because that's almost, I wouldn't say a guaranteed sportsman win, but you have a good likelihood of scoring good points for the night, and that'll just grow his points lead even more. So I think trying to make the feature just be, and having a good points night in general would be a good idea for Matt Grove.
As we begin qualifying, we'll take a look at the Drivers' Championship coming into the Daytona Grand Prix. Francois Martel up by 17 points over Alex Abeti. Savian Ragster 10 points behind his teammate Evan McFarlane, Magnus Okenhaug, Matt Hartley, Josh Klog, Steve Angie, Cody Crosgrove, Matt Grove. That is the top 10. Good battle from 4th down to 6th. The Sportsman Cup, like we mentioned, Matt Grove up by 19 points over Benjamin Gay, and he's up by 33 over birthday boy Matthew Morris. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Chris Wetz, Jess Rakowski rounding out the top 5. The Teams Championship, Constructors Championship, whatever you'd like to call it, Pudgy's Racing 189, Slapex 121. So that championship, not saying it's foregone by any means, but the partnership at Pudgy's is certainly paying off. And the Manufacturers Championship, Ford has a 6-point lead over Subaru, and then Volkswagen only had a couple cars so far. They are way down the order in 3rd with only 37 points. So taking a look now in qualifying. And if we take a look at the practice times, Evan McFarlane, 39.145, Robbie Larill, 251, Josh Klog, 472, and Matt Hartley at a 39.549. Times begin to roll in. Let's take a look. Let's find Francois in the 12 and see. McFarlane sets his first lap time. He goes quickest, 39.9, Abeti 39.3, Ragster 39.8. So where is Martel in car number 12? He's rounding the final corner. Points leader with the red plate crosses the line. 39.529. 2/10 down. He is in second, but Alex in this first rotation currently leading Cody. Into the wall.
Yeah, so he messed up. So he's got one more lap to try to make sure he holds off any of the quick challengers that we have here tonight.
As Matt Hartley sits in the 3rd spot, Ragster, McFarlane, Josh Klog back on track in the 199. Just trying to take a look. Richard Stover done with his run. McFarlane's on his 3rd lap in the 04. Abeti, I think, has begun his 3rd lap. So I'm just trying to find him internally here. He rounds the corner, turn 5, going up to the oval. Such a nasty bump transitioning from the apron back to the road course. Through the dirt, Martel 39.149 by 1/10.5. 2.5 tenths over his title rival. Abeti's got this one last shot to make something happen. Hartley's done with his run. Magnus moves to 4th, Ragster 5th. Down to the final corner for the tie driver, Alex Abeti, former champion of the series, rounding the final corner. Where will he seed in qualifying? 39.252. He goes quicker but doesn't. Pip Francois in the 12.
Heads up, we gotta watch out. Steve Angie and Robbie Larill, they started their laps late. They may be only on lap 2. So
Larill's going to cross the line to begin his 3rd lap. Thanks for pointing that out, Cody. We'll see the man from Louisiana crosses the line, 39.4. He's got 1 lap left over the jump. We talk about it the last couple weeks. The KES cars stupid fast. Always misfortune happening, whether it's they crash or they get crashed. And Larill and McFarlane, I was practicing with them earlier on. I don't understand where the pace is coming from these guys. And I told them that publicly as he exits the oval onto the road course once again, down to the International Horseshoe. We'll take a look and see what happens from the man from Louisiana. Final corner for Larill, crossing the start-finish line. Where will he come out? 39.419. McFarlane's completed his run. Only car left, I think, is Angie, as everyone else. Richard Stover's on a slow lap, but Steve Angie, the only car left, in car number 7. Down to the final corner. The man from New York for Pudgy's Racing crosses the start-finish line. Will he improve his lap? 39.893. And that improves his time, but does not improve his position. Francois Martel, pole position for heat number 1. Let's see if he can translate that in that heat race just in a couple moments, Cody.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at this mid-pack battle going on. We got like 8 to 10 cars under a little under a second bracket, from Josh Klog all the way down to Stover's 1.2 off. So most of the field, like once you get past like the top 5 cars, they're all pretty stacked together. So it should be an interesting battle as we go on through the night.
As another announcement that I don't believe that I had made yet. Proud to announce NASA Sim Racing will reintroduce and allow the Pro World Championship drivers back in our series starting in 2023C. I know we were kind of wishy-washy at the beginning of this season wanting them back, but super excited to see if anyone takes us up on that offer. We'd love to have Sindre Silva, Connor Parisi, Josh Edmondson, just to name a few, Cameron Peterson, for example. Just trying to remember Bo Albert, all the various Pro World Championship drivers that have raced in our series. Hopefully they will come back and have some fun. So just keep an eye on the Discord. We'll
Good
have
luck,
plenty.
Everybody remember one Joker.
We'll have plenty of updates there. Our grid for the first heat race this evening here in Daytona Beach: Francois Martel, Matt Hartley, Josh Clogg, Matthew Morris, the birthday boy, Jess Rakowski, and Olivier Ratteau. 6 laps, Joker once. And apologies for the little mix-up there in the script. I promise I know how to read and write scripts. Just words are hard, as we always say here on ASN. So 3 former winners here at this track are in this race. So Francois won here in 22B, Clogg in 22A on the short layout, and Hartley in 21C on the long layout. So plenty of experience here in Daytona as we get ready for the first heat race. Green flag off the line, even start. It looks like the Subarus pull Martel. They do. Side by side, Hartley and Clogg down to the first corner. Hartley closes the door on the 12, the points leader, rounding the first corner. Contact between them, between Hartley and Clogg. Through the chicane for the first time. Clogg sneaks ahead of Martel. Unknown territory for the 12. We'll keep an eye on him. Over the jump, Hartley leads. Ahead of Clogg, Martel, Morris, Rakowski, and Olivier Ratteau. Through 4, through 5. Transitioning back onto the road course, slash that just a little bit of the oval here in Daytona Beach. Clogg very squirrely under braking, nearly into the 50. Martel turns him in the 12. He almost did in the 12 and the 199. Matthew Morris looking to the inside just for a moment. We'll take a look at the Joker rotation on the first lap. Martel will take the Joker in the 12. The only car to Joker at the end of the first lap. Will he come out ahead? No, he won't. Matt Hartley, former champion, leads ahead of Martel and Clogg. Cody.
Smart move. It seemed like Clogg was just holding up Martel there just a tiny bit. And with Hartley running away like he is, definitely needed to take that Joker when he did.
As the Australian had horrible luck last week in Atlanta. Try not to be biased because he's my car, but got taken out a couple times. Great to see the 50 up front, the former champion in 2020A. Francois Martel, there's no delta now between, as we ride on board, Martel in the 12. On the outside of Hartley. Hartley locked it up in the 50. We didn't get a Joker lap. We do from Rakowski in the 999 in the back of the field. Over the jump. Hartley, messy jump, but he saves it. I thought he was going to go way off the track in the 50. He was a 10th up on Martel that last lap, and it is a shorter lap. I know I almost went off on a delta tangent there, Cody, but things are looking good for Hartley here. Martel to the inside. Now you can talk, sorry.
Oh, good. Yeah, these top 3 are just putting on a cracking battle. And also we got the 2 sportsman drivers in P4 and 5 trying to set themselves good up for the seating as we have a 12.
Jokering is Clogg. Hartley locks up in the corner entry. Will Clogg sneak to the race lead? He will in turn 1. He takes the spot. Cross flags, halfway home in heat number 1. Hartley and Martel over the jump, nearly contact. And now all 3 cars, I believe, unless Hartley hasn't jokered yet. So if I'm Hartley, and again, not because he's my car, Joker, you're going to be in trouble if you keep this battle up.
Yeah, as these are under a blanket.
Clogg leads, Hartley leads, Martel, Rakowski, Morris, Ratteau in the back of the field. Hartley Jokers in the 50. This should put the former champion in the race lead ahead of the defending champion Josh Clogg. 2 laps to go for the Australian. And it's been quite some time since he has won in NASA Rallycross. But Clogg over the jump, nearly landed on the 50, it looked like. No gap between them, half a car length, through 4, through 5. So many different lines you can run, but the asphalt on driver's left, right side of the picture there, certainly the best line you can run. Defensive down to the hairpin. Martel wants something to happen between these guys, but because we really haven't mentioned Martel, he'd be in unfamiliar territory here, Cody. if he doesn't make it through this heat race.
Yeah, like I said, he's pretty much had a perfect season besides the one little mishap in round 2.
Log looks to the inside. Try to do an over-under on Hartley. We take the white flag in heat number 1. This is the difference between pole and the second row of the grid, and Clog wants this pole position from Hartley. He was half a second faster than the Australian that last lap, and Martel was half a second up on Clog in the 199. Hairpin. Once again, back out on the oval. Hartley leaves the door wide open, closes the door. We're going to be side by side down the road course to the International Horseshoe. Hartley pulls him. Will Clog at the slipstream, down the straightaway, peaks to driver's right to the inside, deep on the brakes. Here comes Martel to the outside. Martel's going to take the spot. Hartley to the inside, 3 wide, and this is heat number 1. Hartley clogged Martel. Yeah. Wow.
For a second there, I thought Martel...
I thought high, wide, and handsome, like you used to say on the outside. Really wow!
I thought that was going to work.
That was an insane finish.
Like, I was like, oh, this man's a genius.
Welcome to NASA Rallycross. That was heat number 1. As best of the rest, really quickly, Martel, Morris, Rakowski, Rateau to the semifinal. Woo! And we got 3 more.
Thanks, guys.
Pole position for the former champion. And that was a ballsy move from Martel. You had to make something happen. Clog, you had to make something happen too. Wow. Betty, Okenhaug, Kirtley, Ament, Wetz, Dubois. Grid for heat number 2. Thank you, Bryan Sawyer, for reminding me of that one. Got to catch my breath before we get rolling for heat 2. Got a couple cars waiting to get on track. All 6 on track, 6 laps. Joker lap once. Top 2 transfer here in Daytona Beach. Green flag off the line. Betty gets a better start than Martel did from the pole. We're 3 wide, 4 wide in the back. Okenhaug had a quali ban. He lets everyone by down to turn number 1. Kirtley on the outside. Ament in the 6 in his first race for JC Simsport. Takes the transfer spot in the first corner. Kirtley tried to battle him through turns 1 and 2. Couldn't make it happen. Wetz, Okenhaug, Dubois in the back of the field. And this is what Betty needs. And we talk about it instantly after the start, right? Yeah, he's had a great start. But Martel going to be buried in the semifinal. He might have pole, but still, the semifinals, very tricky, shorter race. So Ament into the tires, and Betty loves this because everybody's crashing in the heat race. Wetz, Okenhaug, and Dubois crash exiting the dirt there.
Seems like Magnus is, like, he took a week off last week, and now he seems to be off tonight. A little bit slower than he normally is.
At the end of the first lap, Betty leads by a decent margin over Justin Ament. It has been quite some time since Justin Ament has made a feature in car number 6, the man from Arizona. Robbie Kirtley having great luck. Won't spoil anything from the lights race yesterday. You'll have to catch the on-demand coverage on ASN on Saturday. But the man from Virginia having great luck in NASA Rallycross lights and in supercars. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this heat race. Dubois, Wetz, Okenhaug, that running order has not changed. We have lost, we didn't lose 1 car. I just know how to count. Kirtley looked to the inside. He's going to joker instead of battling Ament here. So we'll put Kirtley to the 2nd spot. Fastest lap for Betty, 40.125. And Betty has not jokered. So I think we're going to be paying attention here, Cody, to the transfer between Ament and Kirtley.
Yeah, if Ament was smart, he would try to do the joker right now. Kind of counter that attack by what Kirtley just did, and then jump in front of him and then play defense. We'll see what he does here coming up to the joker.
Magnus has jokered in the back of the field. He's battling Wetz. Betty does not joker. Will Ament joker in the 6? He does not, so no joker for the man from Arizona. Dubois, Magnus, and Wetz in the back of the field as we take cross flags for Alex Abetty. As Kirtley's got a decent gap over Ament. Not sure if Ament will have the delta. We'll just have to wait and see. Betty ran a 40.1. He reset fastest lap. He was half a second faster than Kirtley and a full second faster than Ament. And Wetz and Magnus are battling like it's the end of the world. And this is for 5th spot. I'm just taking a look through the field. Wetz gets by Magnus from Norway. The man from Texas, Chris Wetz. like we mention all the time, and we have to make it mention once, has raced in every single season, all 28 of them over the last 11 years, Cody.
Yeah, our true Iron Man. Glad to have him out here.
As Betty reset fastest lap, 39.778, 2 laps to go. Called a lap and a half. Curtly having an issue. And Bryan said off monitor into my ear, he said, Curtly doesn't have the Delta. Well, or sorry, Ament doesn't have the Delta. He might have it now as Curtly had a mistake over the jump. So this transfer getting spicy here, coming to the white flag.
See if he does it. Takes it now that the gap is shrunk up. And he knows that Curtly's just a hair quicker than him. Let's see if he does. Yes, he does take it.
Ament will take the Joker, locks it up in the 6. Betty takes the white flag in the 99. Ament will take the transfer in the 6 ahead of Curtly. Curtly carries the momentum through the chicane, over the jump, on 2 wheels, and he still maintains the car. Rounding turn 4, turn 5. Take it from me, so tricky to get right. Ament driving defensively. In the back of the field, we haven't missed anything. Wetz and Magnus still battling like it's the end of the world. Under the wall is Ament. Ament opens the door. Curtly takes the spot. Will Ament have the run off the corner? I don't think he will. Curtly has gapped the 6 considerably. Again, in the back of the field, Magnus passes Wetz. I just mentioned it because they're all over the place. Betty wins heat number 2, uncontested. Ament got close. He is best of the rest, but Curtly transfers in the 0-24. Confirmation of those results: Betty, Curtly transfer, Ament, Dubois, Wetz, and Magnus to the semifinal in heat number 2. Apologies for that little rough call. I was so excited from the first heat race, I just had to take a breather. So grid for heat number 3: McFarlane, Savian Ragster, Cody Crosgrove, Russell Peterson, Jake Robichaux, and Vinny Sawers. Another 6 laps Joker once here in Daytona. When will Evan McFarlane get a win, Cody? That's the question. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Could it be tonight with Martel having a little bit of struggles? He could still make the feature drive going through the LCQ, but with him having to be in the back, who knows? We will have to find out.
If he wins this heat race, though, he's going to be on driver's left, and it's not a great starting spot here in Daytona, getting ready for heat 3. Green flag off the line. McFarlane blitzes Ragster and Crosgrove down to the first corner. Peterson looks to the inside. The man from Illinois will take it. Ragster gets turned off the front bumper of Crosgrove off the start. As we take the start, McFarlane ahead of Peterson, ahead of Robichaux, Sawers, Crosgrove, and Ragster's back going in the 91. Over the jump for the first time. And this is not what these guys want to see. McFarlane, clear track, pulling away already in the 0-4. We talk about when the race in Brands Hatch, I think. Robichaux comes across into Vinny Sawers in the 69 against the 365. And Robichaux, I think, will let him by. Gentleman rule. Let him through. Will we see Jokers on the first lap of the race up front? Evan does not. Will Peterson? Don't think Peterson would. That wouldn't really be a beneficial idea because he's already running his own race. I don't think we're going to see any Jokers. We won't. At the end of the first lap, Evan McFarlane leads.
We'll have to see here if Crosgrove can run down Russell Peterson for the transfer spot.
Defending sportsman champion Cody Crosgrove, super fast in both supercars and in lights. We've talked about this before, the incredible increase in pace that the Canadian has shown. Battling for the 4th spot is Vinny Sawers and Jake Robichaux. Over the curb is Sawers. He'll make the corner, but completely miss the apex. Into Ragster. Ragster just being ping-ponged back and forth in this heat race. No Jokers for the top 2. Crosgrove will not, so we'll just have to wait and see. Robichaux does not. Ragster does. I'm done with this ping-ponging stuff. Give me some clear track, and Vinny Sawers does not as well. Fastest lap for McFarlane, 39.713. And we mention every race, if you finish 3rd, that's the best spot that you can for the semifinals. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens here through this heat race.
We have to remember that 2 go through each semifinal, not just 1. So with it being a 12-car feature, it's a little less stressful in that LCQ, especially for the extreme fast guys that had a little bit of rough chuckles in the heat race.
As coming to cross flags in heat number 3, Evan McFarlane crosses the line, 39.362, resets fastest lap. The man from California, ahead of Russell Peterson, the man from Illinois, Cody Crosgrove from Canada, Ragster from California, Robichaux from Canada, and Vinny Sowers from Illinois. As it's right on board Evan McFarland in the 04, and just listen to the Subaru at work. McFarland holding the lead. Cosgrove jokered in the 18, but he did not get by Peterson in the 59. Ragster jokered, Robichaux jokered, and Vinny Sowers has not. So coming to the white flag, we might have what looks like a good battle for the transfer, but Peterson can joker and take it all away. What a run for Cosgrove. I don't think he knows that Peterson hasn't jokered yet. Peterson over under contact between them. And I almost thought it was all over for Russell Peterson. As we take the white flag, he has his joker left. He can let Cosgrove kind of pull away for a minute and steal it away, Cody.
Yes, Cosgrove was quicker. He was chasing him down there. I don't know why he jokered as early as he did, but I wonder if he was trying to joker then kind of apply some pressure and make Russell kind of make a mistake, but they almost both made a mistake there.
Coming to the checkered flag, Evan McFarland will win heat number 3. We're going to pay attention to Russell Peterson in the 59. Cosgrove has pulled an incredible delta for the transfer spot. Final corner. Cosgrove will have a run off the corner. He does not get it. Peterson pips him at the line. Best of the rest, Cosgrove in the 18. Confirmation, Cosgrove, Ragster, Robichaux, Sowers to the semifinal, as McFarland and Peterson transfer through as our grid.
Good luck, everyone.
For Heat 4, Robbie Larill, Steve Angie, Cody Wienecke, Matt Grove, and Richard Stover making his first start since the season opener in Knock Hill. So a 5-car heat race, 6 laps, joker once. Angie versus Larill should be a good one here in Daytona. Green flag off the line. Angie gets a good jump in the first phase and the second phase down to the first corner, but he doesn't clear Larill. Down to the corner in the braking zone. Larill pulls him even. Larill pulls him and takes the spot, exiting turn 1. Angie second. Wienecke, Stover, and Grove through 1, through 2, and over the jump. Single file. Very clean so far. Larill by a car length. Make it maybe a car length and a half. Through 4, through 5. Such a particular line that you have to get this, get the car to accept, otherwise you're going off the track or you're being slow. Onto the oval for just a tiny bit, back onto the road course. As we take a look at Richard Stover in the 82, had some issues there in the hairpin. Will we see a joker on the first lap? Angie got passed by Wienecke.
Slow down.
I'll take a look off monitor. He did get a slowdown in the 7. Grove will try the outside on the man from New York, and he'll take the spot. So that's a bit interesting, and Stover crosses the exit line of the joker. Not sure if that's going to be a penalty for the 82. Grove over the jump, having issues. The Sportsman points leader in the 472.
So Angie caught the sleeping policeman there. So now Grove catches back up and gets the preferred line into this hairpin.
Grove to the inside, makes it stick. Does he? Will Angie have the run off the corner? Side by side, not enough room, and Grove puts him to the curb. Says, I'm going to take that spot. Stover passes him, hits the wall, and now Angie, I think Angie got another slowdown. Larill loves this, pulling away. He sets fastest lap, 39.248. Grove sits in second, Stover third, fourth Angie, or fifth Angie, sorry. I miss Wienecke in second there, so chaos already happening. Stover misses the jump. Angie struggling in the 7. And it's such a snowball effect. When one thing goes wrong, Stover into the wall. When one thing goes wrong, it starts to snowball, and then everything goes wrong. And I think that's what happened to Steve Angie in the 7, Cody.
Yeah, the one that's really loving this right now is Wienecke. With Angie having his problems that he is in this heat race, Wienecke's just in a clear track, and he can make this feature easily.
As over the jump, Larill had an issue. I was taking a look off monitor at some stats. Shouldn't pay attention to those. And Larill gave up a little bit of time. If we take a look, he has not jokered. Winecki has not jokered. Grove, I don't think, well, Grove already jokered. So the Sportsman points leader might have to go to the semifinal, but we'll just have to wait and see as Angie and Stover in the back of the field. Taking a look at cars that have transferred, I don't think there's any Sportsman cars that have transferred in this race so far. So the semifinal might not only be a race for example, Francois to make it through, but it might be for a Sportsman race win.
Yeah, so we'll have to see who transfers through the semi. Obviously, we're going to have a ton of stacked drivers in our Sportsman Cup in the semi features. So if we can get 1 or 2, or hey, we could get 4 possibly in. So we could have a total of 5 if they all transfer through. So end up seeing
down the back straightaway into the final corner, International Horseshoe. Robbie Larill from Louisiana will take the white flag. Winecki will take the Joker in the 903. So he will hold the second spot. Grove in the 472. Looks like he will hold third. Winecki from Arizona, looking to make a feature. I think it's been a while since he's made a feature, and he is actually a Sportsman car. I know how to read my own spreadsheets, so this is not a good thing for Matthew Grove. And I think Winecki, he might be down on points in Sportsman. He's sitting in 7th, but still, those are crucial points that are being taken away from Matthew Grove potentially. Either way, final corner. Robbie Larill, just to add insult to injury, will take a sick drift. Final corner, winning heat number 4. Transferring Winecki, best of the rest, Matthew Grove in the 472. Confirmation, Larill, Winecki transfer. Grove, Angie, Stover to the semifinal here in Daytona. Cody, you were about to say something. My apologies. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say good night for Winecki getting good points, because this, with Benjamin Gay not being here, he could possibly jump him. And sorry, he did happen to make the feature last week in Atlanta and got second in Sportsman. So
see, I promise I know my own series. I don't even know what happens anymore. Starting grid for semifinal A: Francois Martel, Cody Cosgrove, Matthew Morris, Sabian Ragster, Jess Rakowski, Jake Robichaux, Olivier Ratteau. 5 laps, 1 joker, and the top 2 will transfer. And if you're Francois Martel, you're trying not to have shades of Indianapolis last season when he got stuck in the semifinal, got buried in that race. We'll just have to wait and see for the points leader here in Daytona. Green flag off the line. Great start. Completely blitzes Cosgrove and Morris. Cosgrove blocks Ragster in the 91. Rakowski through the middle, shoves Morris out wide. Martel leads Cosgrove, leads Ragster, leads Ratteau, leads Robichaux, Morris, and Rakowski over the jump. Everybody clean so far, and this is what Martel needs to see, especially needs to see these 2 squabbling behind him for a transfer spot. Set sail, get the clear track. I would almost joker immediately, Cody, just to take advantage of that. Into the hairpin on the oval. Cosgrove holds the transfer at the moment. Ragster got a better surge off the corner, but Cosgrove will pull him, it looks like, down the straightaway. Will we see any jokers on the first opportunity? Martel does not. Cosgrove thought about it, but he was also defending on Ragster. We will not see any jokers as Martel leads at the end of the first lap.
Dez Ragster applying a ton of pressure to the back of Cosgrove over the jump. This is one thing that Matt Grove wants to see, is one of his cars making the feature. Oh,
Cosgrove clips the sleeping policeman, got nudged by Ragster and moved out of the way. Is the defending Sportsman champion. Martel still pulling away. 2.7, let's call it 3 seconds between them at the timing there. Back of the field, Morris and Ratteau were battling for a moment. Huge run for Morris on Ratteau. Will we see any jokers in the back of the field? Ratteau does in the 63. And I have not seen any joker from the top 3 so far, as Ratteau ahead of Morris, ahead of Robichaux, and ahead of Jess Rakowski. Ratteau over the jump, spins out of the way. So the elder Ratteau struggling in the 63, and the Elder Robichaux struggling in the 69. As Rakowski looks to the inside of Jake Robichaux. Coming to 2 laps to go for Francois Martel. This is what he needs to see. Pulling away, clear track, no issues, and not having a repeat of Indianapolis last season, Cody.
Yeah, as he's now going to have to fight his way through the back of the field through the feature, so see what he can do.
We've seen crazier things happen over the last 11 years for sure. 2 to go. Ragster was a second slower than Martel. I just think Ragster's happy that he's going to make it potentially into the feature after the issue earlier on. Cosgrove, Morris, Rakowski, Robichaux, Rateau. That running order has not changed. So you might wonder why we're taking 2 cars out of this race instead of the normal 1. Well, NASA Rallycross has always had a unique field scaling where if you have a certain amount of cars, you have a certain amount of cars in the feature race, and we're over the threshold to have a 12-car feature. So try not to be too confusing, but just one of the heritage things when we used to have 5 to 10 cars. Battling for the transfer is Ragster with Cosgrove. Ragster hasn't jokered again. Cosgrove hasn't jokered either. Where did this come from?
Because I think Ragster must have had a mistake previously in the lap before to let Cosgrove catch up, but unfortunately, like we were kind of talking about earlier, now Cosgrove is just going to have to follow him in through the Joker. That's not really going to help him much.
Martel Jokers wins the second semifinal. Ragster looks like he will come home in the 2nd spot. Cosgrove, best of the rest. Matt Morris will come home in 4th. Then it looks like Rakowski, Robichaux, and Olivier Rateau. Just a confirmation, Martel and Ragster transfer. Best of the rest, Cody Cosgrove will be our 13th seed, 15th Morris, 17th Rakowski, 19th Robichaux, 21st Olivier Rateau. Second semifinal time here in Daytona Beach, and this is an 8-car race. Why do I do this? 8 cars. Justin Ament, Matthew Grove, Eric Dubois, Steve Angie, Magnus Okenhaug, Richard Stover, Chris Wetz, and Vinny Sowers. And I'll try not to be biased because 2 of my cars are in this race. 5 laps, Joker once, and the top 2 will transfer here in Daytona Beach. Green flag off the line. Great start for Ament. Bad start for Grove. Angie will send Ament into turn 1. Around goes Dubois. Around goes Grove. He saves it as we begin the first lap. Grove, Okenhaug, Angie, Wetz, Sowers, Stover, Dubois. So confused by the Pudgy's cars because they have the same livery. Apologies for that. Okenhaug to the inside of Grove in the 472. Thought he had the run off the corner. Will he send it to the inside? We joke about Magnus being a bowling ball. Nice and clean on the oval. Back out into the road course. And Justin Ament pulling away from Matthew Grove, Okenhaug, Angie, Sowers, Wetz, Stover, Dubois, who will joker on the first opportunity. Angie will. I think this is going to put him battling Grove. Let's pay attention at the end of the first lap. Ament leads. Angie holds it over Grove here, Cody.
Yeah, as Angie takes the Joker there, so now he's going to jump up to P2. Grove's right on his back bumper, though, so once he takes the Joker, he should jump him. So I think it's going to be a battle between Grove and Okenhaug.
As the only sportsman car so far in this race is Wienecke in the 903. So our points leader in sportsman, Matthew Grove, trying to get into the feature to battle Wienecke. Jokering is Ament in the 6. Okenhaug jokers in the 26. Will he come out in front of Angie? Angie's going to have the run off the corner. They're going to be side by side. Angie yields, and Okenhaug to second. Grove has the better run through the chicane. Magnus off the track. Will he save it in the 26? Completely sideways is the Norwegian. He saves it, but he's off the track. Wetz in the 71 in the back. Vinny Sowers and Richard Stover having a great battle. They come together over the jump. Dubois involved in that as well. Angie into the tires, Cody.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. He just seems to be making these little mistakes these 2 races tonight. Just affecting him just enough that he may not make the feature. Let's see if he can kind of clean it up the rest of this LCQ.
2 laps to go for Justin Ament, the man from Arizona, leading ahead of Steve Angie from New York, ahead of Matthew Grove from Pennsylvania. Sportsman points leader with that blue number plate and the blue plate on the ticker, trying to make it into another feature. Magnus Okenhaug all over the rear wing, but Magnus is jokered already, and Grove is not. And Grove trying to stay on the rear wing of Angie, but he is hemorrhaging time in the 472, crossed up, kisses the wall, and hits Magnus in the 26.
That actually buffed out pretty well.
He saved the car, but all the time is gone. Still battling Magnus over the
You're a dick, dude.
I don't think he was too happy over the radio. White flag for Ament in the 6. Angie holds the spot. We're looking at Chris Wetz potentially sitting in 3rd as they are battling. He's battling with Magnus. Magnus all over the track in the 26. As Grove, Dubois, Stover, the remaining running order. Half a lap to go for Justin Ament, and Cody Winecki loves this because if unless something goes wrong in the next 10 seconds, he wins in Sportsman by default, Cody.
Yes, that'll be the perfect night for Winecki.
Final corner. Justin Ament will be our 10th seed. Steve Angie, our 12th seed. Best of the rest will be, I think, Chris Wetz off the corner. He does it in 14th. And just confirming, Ament and Angie will transfer. 14th Wetz, 16th Okenhaug, 18th Dubois, 20th Grove, 22nd Stover, 23rd Vinny Sowers. Qualifying is over. The feature race in Florida is next.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Side nearly 3 wide, Ament and Palacio. Front bumper of Betti down to turn 2. Clog takes the lead. Will still has him jokered inside. Clog on McKenna. Contact between them. Well, Romain Rateau has led all evening long, but Schofield to the inside, and he makes it stick. funny story about Bryan Sawyer. He showed up to the track 5 minutes ago with zero practice, and each lap increasing in pace for the man from Wisconsin. Mertz deep on the brakes in the 812, clobbering the curve to get by Olivier Rateau. We welcome you back to round 243 of the championship overall and round 7 of the 28th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here in Daytona with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and two-time series champion Cody Erdmann next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. Just a reminder, our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support. Our coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Finally, our cameras for the entire season are provided by TrackCams22.com, and our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abetti. Cody Erdmann, it's been a crazy evening so far. I can't believe that we had that insane finish in Heat 1, but I need to know who is your pick for this evening.
Well, that's a good question, because it's all going to matter going into turn 1. It's going to be pure chaos, as we've seen tonight. People forcing a 3-4 wide, so whoever can make it through turn 1. My guess, let's see what we're kind of gridding up here as. Just trying to get an idea. Hartley has, I'm going to say Hartley, to be honest, because he's sitting in the catbird seat. He's got the best line into turn 1. If he can just get a good start here, he'll be able to run away. Like we've all been saying tonight, try to joker early to get away from the field, and if he can do that, he's got enough pace to win it tonight.
Matt Hartley, the former champion in 2020A, is in a 7-way tie for 19th on the wins list with 2 career victories. So we'll just have to wait and see if he can add his name to the tie of 3 wins, which he would be tied with Marwan Moftop for 18th all time on the wins list. So Phil likes to roast me, right, and say, who's your prediction? Francois won 4 out of 5, but he's going to start 10th? No, 9th. So that's going to be hard to do. Pretty impossible, if you ask me, given the circumstances of this track. I agree, it's down to the start. I don't want to sound biased because he's my car, but I have to go Hartley. He's got the best spot on the grid. I bet he's going to have the middle. We've seen the middle kind of be a good run, too. I mean, it just, who can drop the clutch faster? I mean, we see these guys doing...
almost really cool, Josh.
Doing test starts. So these guys trying to maximize all the time they have.
I hope you realize the potential of how cool that could have been.
In this warm-up, just to ensure that they get the proper starts. So
thing to watch out for, too, is Evan McFarland's starting P3 and Robbie's starting P4. If Evan gets a good enough start, I could see Robbie letting his teammate in with Evan being on the very outside. We know how,
I like it,
and we know how fast Evan is. He could contend for a win here if the start is clean enough for Evan. He's in probably one of the best positions he's been in all season.
He is trying. I'm taking a look off monitor. He completely cut the sleeping policeman, just trying to test and see where you can get away with like the maximum amount of cutting, and that's going to be a hot spot all evening long with this feature race. Is you can't really cut those sleeping policemen. It really, basically, if you touch them, you'll get a slowdown. That's what I've learned. And the coming off the jump, the jump is interesting because you have to basically turn left when you take your jump for you to land correctly and not completely crash. There's a bump going back out onto the oval. Doesn't look like it on paper, but this track, one of the most technical, and 12 cars barreling into turn 1. Whew, we got to get our hard hats and our gloves and our safety glasses and respirators and everything else. Do you need me to go get it? I can go to the truck right now.
No, thankfully we have you supplying us already. I think we should be good. And
okay, good.
Thankfully we're safe up here in the booth. I hope. we have seen cars go flying.
Yes, if we
Especially
remember when
Nicholas.
if we remember when Ray Kingsbury went to the moon in his Sim Racer coin car, which was hilarious. That's when the Dogecoin fad was happening, and he ramped off one of the cars in Sonoma and flew to the moon.
That would have been one of my cars with Karen Forrest.
As just one of the many memories that have happened on the Automotive Sports Network. Before we get rolling, we're going to go through a couple programming notes. Just keep in mind that the second round of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge will be in Sebring, Florida on Thursday the 27th. You'll join myself, Justin Robichaux, and Bryan Sawyer for that, 9 p.m. Eastern on ASN Live. Round 7 of NASA Rallycross Lights from here in Daytona took place yesterday. You'll see that coverage Saturday the 29th of July, 9 p.m. Eastern, ASN On Demand. Myself, Bryan Sawyer, for that one. And the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will continue. It'll be, I think, round 7. I don't even know. I'm really good at my job, and I don't know what race we're on. We'll be in Bark River in Michigan to begin the Endurance Cup. That'll be on the 31st, next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern on ASN Live. So that track, always fun. We remember when Luke Kraus won a race there, I think. Magnus won his last race there. As myself, Josh Mertz, Cody Erdmann alongside me. We're supposed to have Philip Kraus, but he is busy. And Bryan Sawyer. As Philip Kraus, I didn't know what he was racing on Mondays. He's in a Dallara league, like an IndyCar league, unless I'm not supposed to say that word. Don't kill me. But he said, yeah, I'd be here if the prize wasn't to potentially race a GT4 class car in real life. And I said, tell me to kick rocks. You can go right ahead. We both know how quick Phil is, Cody.
Yeah, we're rooting him on. Hopefully he can get that prize. I'm pretty sure he had a pretty good round 1 that happened about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So yeah, everything I see that man drive is, no matter if it's GTP cars or open wheels, he's been super fast as we're about to go racing here.
As we will take a look at the grid for the Daytona Grand Prix. And now that I know how to count, we are on round number 6. I know how to count, so I did those scripts wrong the entire time. On pole position, Matt Hartley, car number 50, former champion. Alex Abeti, Evan McFarlane, Robbie Larill, Josh Clogg, Robbie Kirtley, Russell Peterson, Cody Wienecke, Francois Martel, Justin Ament, Sabian Raxter, Steve Angie. Cody Wienecke wins by default in Sportsman, so we congratulate him there. We've got 12 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers, and I can feel my heartbeat rising as we get ready to go green. Thanks for joining us on ASN as we get ready for the Daytona Grand Prix. Green flag off the line. What a start from Abeti. Gets smoked 3 wide. It's Clogg, Hartley, and Kirtley down to the first corner. McFarlane complaining under braking, trying to make the car stick in the corner. Hartley sneaks to second. Side by side, Clogg and McFarlane nearly contact. They do nudge. Clogg gets sideways. He saves in the 199. Tank slapper around. The defending champion goes in the 199 into the wall. Clean through the field. Martel buried in traffic. Battling for the lead for the moment. It was Abeti versus Hartley. McFarlane third. Larill, Kirtley, Clogg trying to find a way around. Martel into Clogg, into Kirtley, Peterson in the 59. Then it's Raxter, Wienecke, Ament in the back, Angie rounding out the field. Down the back stretch to begin the first lap, I should say. Jokering as Abeti. Who else will joker? McFarlane. Let's take a look at the merge here, Cody. Abeti leads at the end of the first lap. McFarlane comes out ahead of Hartley in the 50. Kirtley jokers in the 024 as well. And the first bit of strategy is done. McFarlane over the jump having issues. Opens the door for Hartley in the 50. Trying to take the spot. Struggling under acceleration is the 50. Abeti loves this. Clogg. Contact with Peterson in the back of the field. As we take a look, I take a look off monitor to see Clogg was all crossed up. Got turned by Kirtley into the wall. Martel is surviving so far. Hartley jokers in the 50. So the first bit of strategy, he has nothing against Alex Abeti in the 99. Larill jokers, pips his teammate in the 04. Kirtley did not, Clogg did, Raxter did not, as we just take a look at everyone filing through.
Martel just got a slowdown because he thought he was going to take a joker and then didn't, so he got the slowdown for doing an unsafe entry into the Joker, so he just slid all the way back to 11.
And that is crucial for the championship leader when a Betty is having a great run. And it looked like Martel was just trying to defend on corner entry. Not sure what's happening there. We end lap number 3. A Betty still leads. Loril completes his strategy and comes out behind the former champion, a Betty. Hartley sits in third. McFarlane overjumps in the 0-4. Kirtley, impressive run. Clog, Ragster, Ament, Angie, Martel took his first Joker. Buried in traffic still. Wienecke and Peterson in 12th off the track in the 59. So now, Betty still has a Joker, but Loril is super fast.
Sorry about that. McFarlane got a slowdown there, so now the gap to the top 3 are
Hartley Jokers to complete his strategy. He comes out in front of Loril and right near a Betty in the 99. Taking the halfway lap next time around. A Betty comfortably, once he Jokers, will hold this spot. This might be a battle for the podium. And you mentioned McFarlane had a slowdown. He still has 1 Joker left in the 0-4, so he might be battling for this podium spot as well in the 0-4. And like we talked about in the opener, Cody, a Betty, this reset his season last season. Will this reset a championship hunt for him, especially with Martel down the order? Championship leader sitting, looks like in 7th right now in the 12.
Yeah, he's having to rally back with all that. He did a really good job on lap 1. He was up to P5, and then a couple people Jokered, and he slid back a tiny bit. And then that mistake through the Joker, getting the slowdown from it, absolutely killed all of his progress.
He's got 1 Joker left, but he's got no gap. He might get Clog, maybe, but that would be for the 6th position. We'll just have to wait and see. We know how quick Martel is, though, in car number 12. This is a very good battle for 2nd and for 3rd. I just don't know. I don't know if these guys know that Abedi has a Joker left. I think Abedi's going to take it at the last lap. He's got it in his pocket. He doesn't have to worry about it. We'll just have to wait and see. McFarlane still has his left. Like I said, impressive run for Kirtley in the 0-24. Clog has 1 left. Martel has 1 left. Ragster hasn't taken any. McFarlane sets fastest lap, 39.815. Keep an eye on Ragster in the 91 here. And Angie in the 7 in the back of the field. Ament has a Joker left as well. So does Wienecke. But this battle rages on for 2nd and 3rd, Cody.
Yeah, see if Hartley tries anything here. If he gets any amount of a good run going into a corner, I would try to capitalize on it. Or any little mistake, although Abedi, we know Abedi, he doesn't make any mistakes, but rarely, so see what happens here in the closing couple laps.
3 laps to go for the former champion, Alex Abedi in the 99. Hartley 2nd, 3rd Loril. We're just waiting for the pin to drop, waiting for the shoe to drop, as they would say, for Abedi to take his Joker. And there's some guys in the midfield that have not completed their strategy, and I'm expecting a Joker maybe on the last lap for McFarlane, maybe from Kirtley. I don't know if Kirtley's not going to have anything for McFarlane if they follow each other, but McFarlane, if he's running his own race, he might be able to sneak the spot away from his teammate. We'll just have to wait and see what has happened to our championship leader. He stays in the 7th spot. Thought he was blinking out there for a minute.
Something to watch here. McFarlane's been half a second faster every lap. And the top 3 have been running the same exact lap times because they're on top of each other.
Over the jump. Both of them were sloppy.
He could jump.
Loril nudges the 50, cuts the track. And that might seal it for Loril. We'll just have to wait and see. We're coming to the white flag. Still no Joker for Abedi. And taking a look at lap times, yeah, he was a 10th up that last lap. Will we see a spoiler from Evan McFarlane in the 0-4? We'll just have to wait and see. Final corner, white flag for Alex Abedi, former champion of the series, winner this season in Brands Hatch. Ahead of Matt Hartley, ahead of Robbie Loril. Those two have completed their strategies a long while ago. Abedi has 1 Joker left, and McFarlane might be able to pip his teammate. He might even pip Hartley for 2nd. We'll just have to wait and see. Looking through the field, Clog has not finished his strategy, nor is the points leader, nor has Ragster, and nor has Wienecke. So we'll just have to wait and see as we file in. Down the back straightaway, Abetti's going to skip the International Horseshoe because he's going to take the Joker, and he will score win number 7, tie himself with Dylan Smith. Abetti wins in Daytona. Hartley, McFarlane at the line ahead of his teammate Larill. Curtly finishes 5th. Clog 6th. Martel he did take his second Joker. I apologize there. It was earlier on.
Not bad for a grandfather. Kicking that box.
No.
Well done, guys.
He
Good
did not. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I got confused from the same thing.
Yep.
Great race. Broke my ankle shortly.
Jeez, bro.
As Abetti
Good one, Alex.
running the Daytona 500, he's maxed at 120 miles an hour.
Well done, Evan. Sorry about that, Robbie. Whatever happened there, mate. Shame.
No, that was all me, man. I came in a little too hot, and it was either that or get a slow down. I still got the slow down. It's all good, my brother.
As confirmation of the results this evening here in Daytona Beach, Alex Abetti, his 7th career win in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. He is tied with Dylan Smith for 12th all-time on the wins list. Dylan Smith, the man from Georgia. We haven't seen him in quite some time in the championship. Matt Hartley in 2nd. Evan McFarlane in 3rd on the podium. Pipped his teammate Larill at the line. Robbie Kirtley rounds out the top 5. Josh Clog, Francois Martel, points leader way down the order in the 12. Sabian Ragster, Steve Angie, Cody Winecki, Justin Ament in his first start for JC Simsport, and Russell Peterson last in the feature. Really quick before we get to the interviews, I know we don't have a graphic for this, but Cody Crosgrove was 13th, 15th was Morris, 17th was Jess Rakowski, 19th Jake Robichaux, 21st Olivier Rateau, and then it sounds confusing because we split them up, odds versus evens. It was Wetz in 14th, 16th Okenhaug, 18th Dubois, 20th Grove, 22nd Richard Stover, and 23rd Vinny Sowers. We're going to try and bring in, we might not even have our sportsman winner this evening. So we might be down a couple interviews. So give me just a minute here. We got McFarlane, we have Hartley, and we'll have Abetti. So we'll bring in Evan McFarlane and Cody Erdmann, all yours.
Hey there, Evan. You got us?
Yep.
Nice clean start for you there, and just ran your race the whole time. Tell us about it.
Well, yeah, I was surprised I made it through that start, honestly. I think I got a bit lucky. Hartley messed up his jump, but yeah, me and Abetti we were planning to if he got in front of us, take the Joker and run away. But yeah, it was good racing. I mean, me and Robbie, we try to do some Joker strategy, get to have Hartley, but just Abetti, Hartley, even Robbie is super well done. They did a great job racing.
With I know Robbie did his complete strategy with taking his 2 Jokers early on and kind of jumped a couple of the cars in front of you. Was that kind of a strategy move to possibly back them up to you, or was that just he was just running his own thing and you're running your own?
No, actually, I told him the Joker. We were planning, yeah. So like I said, we're just planning to, I knew Robbie was a little bit faster on me in the rebirth, and I just wanted to follow him, and hopefully if we got in a battle with Abetti, I would be able to take that and maybe hold him up and just get by again front. But Abetti did a really good job. He's really consistent, really fast, and yeah.
Well, congratulations on getting to the 3rd step of the podium tonight. Who would you like to thank to get you there?
I'd like to thank Fluid Logic, KS Industries, VSC Vermont Sports Car, OMP, Malin, Pit Viper, and Marwin Sports, and also Robbie Larill. He's taught me a lot, and I appreciate that. And it's always fun racing with them as a teammate and racing against these guys. So also thanks to you guys.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we'll see you back on the podium in Bark River.
Yep.
As I was furiously typing away to update the points, we'll get those in a minute. I'll have a chat. Is it a conflict of interest to have a chat with your own car? Well, Matt Hartley, not bad for a grandfather, you said. I'll try and take the team owner cap off for a minute. Walk me through your race, mate.
Man, so much happened in the heat race. Start with, and that was awesome. That was so hectic in that race. But yeah, in the feature, I just had to hang with Alex as best I could, and I knew Evan and Robbie were really, really quick, and they tried to play their Joker strategies really well. And yeah, I just had to hang in there. And then Robbie was on my backside for so long, and then yeah, we had a little bit of a touch, and he come off worse, and I just had to dig. I didn't even realise he was not like quite there, and then yeah, I was expecting to get done on a joker there for P3, but yeah, P2, well done.
As I guess you kind of glossed over the heat race, and I know sometimes you go back and you watch them, right? You're gonna lose your mind over that last lap. From my point of view, what was going on? What was going on in your head when you're 3 wide and beating and pang and going to the line in a heat race?
Oh, so I was thinking this is it. I'm just going to end up like having to go to the last chance qualifier, and yeah, and I also thought of Michael Schumacher getting passed down like at Spa. Yeah, by the 2 cars, and it was like, no, I'm gonna prove, like, I'm gonna show Shuey this is how it's done. So somewhere in his mind, he's thinking about me.
And,
yeah.
Cody, you got anything for our second place man?
No, just congratulations. We both picked you to win tonight. Came up one
Oh,
spot
really?
short on yeah, 1 spot short. We were.
You did that a while
something-
ago, and you put the mocker on me 2 races ago, I think it was. Yeah.
Did something happen there on the start? Because like the front row kind of got a little bit of, like, did you mistime it, or what happened there?
Yeah, no, I was panicking about the start on pole position there because it seems like it's the dirtiest side of the grid there to start. And yeah, I was practicing in the warm up, but yeah, I just got wheel spin, and all the way through practice sessions and stuff, I've been getting excellent starts and whatnot. But yeah, right there, I knew it was going to happen. You just get a lot of wheel spin there, I think. And it just smoked them up, and it was like, oh no. But yeah, just held in tight, see what I could do.
You had a good rally back through the international horseshoe to get back up to P2 right away, right when you crossed the line. So
yeah, that was crazy.
Cody, I need you to ask the final question because it sounds really bad for me to ask it.
True. Okay. So, Matt, who would you like to thank to get you on the second step of the podium here in the beautiful land of Daytona?
I'd like to thank my brand new team that I joined, JC Sim Sports. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having me along and trusting in me. Yeah, thanks to you guys. And yeah, you guys for putting on the show. That's great. And also thanks to Jason Hook too, who is my old teammate, who sent a message live on YouTube chat. Yeah, good on you, Jace. Thanks, mate.
I was just about to tell you. I wondered if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
We do miss Jason Hook in the championship. Hopefully, we can get to some more of those Aussies.
I got a tear in my eye. Go, Jace.
Matt Hartley, great race. We'll see you next week in Bark River.
No worries. So yeah, good luck, guys.
I remember having this conversation with you a season ago because you had a terrible, championship defense, and we were talking about what's going to happen with Alex. Well, he won the race. And I wondered this season, what's going to happen with Alex? He won the race. Alex Abedi. How are you? Talk me through your race, my friend.
Right now, I'm very happy that I could win it. I was practicing a lot, and I did a good qualifying lap. And yeah, right now I'm just very happy that I could be back on top.
As the race was so crazy and chaotic, I don't even really have any specific questions. I guess you took the lead off the start from the middle. The middle was kind of hit or miss whether it was the middle lane or the right side lane, which was the better run. So what was the thought process getting the start and pulling away? You worried about the cars behind or just looking out the windshield?
Yeah, I was worried a lot about Matt. We had a very unlucky incident in the last race. And so I was worried what happens if I take the lead. So I had the idea, if I see I can make it, I would just let him have it and try to joker. And if I get in the front, I would just joker and try to use my pace and get away. And fortunately, it worked out. So my joker strategy was good.
As before I ask Cody if he has anything for you, unofficially, you are 2 points behind Francois Martel. So I think I asked you this many times. You're going. We're going to Bark River. It's the beginning of the Endurance Cup. It's going to be a different style race. What are the thoughts as you've finally gotten so close to Martel? There's a chink in the armor just a little bit with his poor result today. What's the thought process going into Bark River?
Yeah, there are still 4 races left. The Bark River and Wild Horse, they got new dirt. So maybe it's going to be a complete new race. Before, the Fiesta wasn't good at all, so I think I would have an edge. But right now, I have no idea. But I know that in Iowa and in Sonoma, I'm fast, and I know Francois is fast, and Evan is just a rocket. I'm so proud of this kid to see him getting to pace so quickly. It's unbelievable. He's an absolute alien, and we three will have very close races, and I will give my best. I think I still have a good chance. It's only 2 points. I want that red plate back, man.
Cody, you got anything for our race winner?
Yeah, Francois, were you? Obviously, you were probably keeping an eye on your championship rival there in Francois and seeing what he had a kind of a rough night to start. Were you keeping an eye on him throughout? Like, could you see him in your relative and kind of keeping track of where he was, or were you just making sure what kind of being in the moment of who you were battling with?
No, Francois was too far away for me to see him. I just saw Matt and Evan and Robbie, and I was just watching my times to them. I couldn't see Francois.
As we like to congratulate you on the win, and who'd you like to thank to get you there?
Yeah, this Putty Racing team, this team is awesome. They're really trying to support Sabian and me as professional as they can. It's like the best support I've ever gotten, and I'm really happy to drive for them, and I'm happy to get the win for them today. And I want to really thank them, and Sabian and Steve Angie too. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, congrats on your win, my friend. We'll see you next
Thank
week
you.
in Bark
Thank
River.
you. See you. Bye-bye.
As we'll get some confirmation of the results of the feature before we begin to sign off. Alex Zabetti, we just heard from him, our race winner this evening in Daytona Beach. Matt Hartley in second. Evan McFarland rounds out the podium in the 0-4. Robbie Larill and Robbie Kirtley, fourth and fifth. Josh Klog, points leader Francois Martel. Sabian Ragster, Steve Angie, Cody Winecki down to 10th. Winecki uncontested for the Sportsman victory this evening. Justin Ament and Russell Peterson rounding out the feature results. Unofficially exiting Daytona Beach, Florida, Francois Martel has a 2-point lead. Just when we thought that Francois Martel said, deuces, I'm taking this championship and running away, Cody, it's 2 points between him and Alex with 4 races left.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely insane. Those two drivers are going to have to keep an eye on each other and get as many maximum points as possible. Also, fun little, if you just scroll just a tiny bit down, P3, 4, and 5, 4 points separating them?
96, 94, 93. Yeah, that's 3 points.
So, them three are have an amazing battle, as I swear them three are together every race, every heat race feature, no matter, like, they're together. So, we're going to have a really fun battle with P3 on the points and P1.
As Ragster, Hartley, McFarland, the remaining top 5, Josh Klog, Magnus Okenhaug, Steve Angie, Cody Crossgrove, and Matt Grove. And unofficially, Matt Grove still leads the Sportsman Cup. Benjamin Gay falls, obviously, because he was not here this evening. Matthew Morris, birthday boy, sneaks to second spot in the Sportsman Cup. As just a couple programming notes before we say good evening here on the Automotive Sports Network. The second round of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge will be in Sebring, Florida on Thursday. You'll join myself, Justin Robichaux, and Bryan Sawyer for that, 9 p.m. Eastern on ASN Live. Round 6 of NASA Rallycross Lights took place here in Daytona yesterday. You'll see that coverage on ASN On Demand, 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Myself, Bryan Sawyer, for that one. And then round number 7 of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge in Bark River in Michigan. The first round of the, I guess I'll call it this, the Area 52 Designs Endurance Cup, as I never talked to you about that, so apparently that's still happening. You're welcome. It'll be 9 p.m. Eastern Time, ASN Live. You'll join myself, Cody Erdmann, Bryan Sawyer, hopefully Philip Kraus for that one. And we remember Bark River, the last couple of races, incredible racing with these rally cars. And like Alex alluded to, Cody, we do have that new dirt from the service on this latest build. So I have no clue what's going to happen in that race. Just a reminder, our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Our coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Thirdly, our cameras for the entire season are provided by TrackCams22.com. And finally, our intro music was produced by our very own race winner, Alex Abetti. Cody Erdmann, if I can get a final thought from you, I'll button this guy up afterwards.
Great race. Heat 1 was amazing. Probably one of the best heats we've had all season. And then that start in the feature was I would say a lot calmer than I was expecting. Probably one of the cleanest starts we've had all season. So everyone that ran that feature, congrats on them for that was probably one of the cleanest, best races we've had. Good, clean battles, respect throughout the whole field. So looking forward to Bark River and what that chaos is going to ensue. We don't know exact format yet, so tune in next week to find out what we're going to do for that.
It's going to be an absolutely incredible race. The checkered flag falls on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Philip Kraus, Cody Erdmann, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge tonight from Daytona. Congratulations to Alex Abetti, and be sure to join us Thursday for sports cars or Saturday for lights. But until then, so long, everyone.